Well, Menards just showed up with all my insulation, lumber, and OSB. It's a balmy 23 degrees outside. It's considerably warmer in the shop here. I think that's just because there's no wind. Even with the door wide open here, it's honestly not bad. Today's Friday. I'm hoping tomorrow I can start putting some of this insulation in and getting the girts put in the wall cavities here. And I think next week they're talking single digits and then like 10 below for most of the week. So it's going to get cold in a hurry. And just like that, got a whole load of lumber, insulation, and OSB sitting in the shop. Well, I'll see you in the morning.
2 weeks later.
Welcome back to the Schuyler Hill. Today we're going to be working in and on the shop. You can hear I got the generator fired up already. The lights are going. Let's head down and get to work. Well, I haven't gotten nearly as much done as I would have liked. This first section here I have framed in up to the 12-foot mark. Same story here on the second bay, all framed in up to the 12-foot mark. Then I started on the end wall here along the door. It's all the farther I got. That was on New Year's Eve. About a week before that, I cut all the girts that went along the floor and just threw them in there. I just got the generator out here 2 weeks ago, and let's take a closer look at how I'm doing it. Well, probably the worst part is I don't have any power out here yet, so I've got to run the generator. The good news is this torpedo heater over here is so loud that you can't hardly hear the generator outside when it's running. So I'm framing this in bookshelf style as opposed to putting the boards flat across the front of the post like this. Now I'm sure some people are going to say you've got to use 2x6s on this. I don't see why it really matters. I've seen a lot of buildings go up, like I said, with the board flat on the front of the post, and they use 2x6, but you can't tell me a 2x4 turned on edge isn't as strong as a 2x6 flat. I don't know, it's not like the insulation's gonna fall off the back here and go down into some abyss or something. So I've got a girt every 2 foot all the way up the wall. I'm gonna run the sheets of plywood horizontally. They're 9-foot sheets, so I'm gonna cut them at the post so they land perfectly centered on the post. Right here you can see I got a double girt. That's so that I don't have to split one 2x4 over 2 sheets of OSB. It's gonna really help screwing it in. It's gonna make it a little bit stronger. Go up 2 more, you can see I've only got a single. The reason I went double here is, well, that's 4 foot off the ground. That's where it's gonna be getting banged into and pushed on. By the time you get 8 foot in the air, you're not really pushing on that seam. So I'm just gonna go along every 20 inches or so and scab in a little block. Just put a little block every 20 inches so I can screw the next sheet to it. And I'll do the same thing at the 12-foot mark for the top piece. Was my ladder really not locked in that whole time and you guys didn't tell me? Well, there you go. We got this first cavity finished out. Wasn't quite sure with how I wanted to handle the transition between the wall and the ceiling, but I think I got that figured out now. I'm back out in the shop. Honestly, I don't even know where we left off. It's been, I don't know, 2 weeks since I've been out here. No new progress, still just these 2 bays and then by the door here. Still don't know what I'm gonna do about the transition from the wall to the ceiling. So instead of figuring that out, I'm gonna start insulating. Now, if you look right down the ribs, you can see daylight on all of them. Right here at the wainscoting too. Now, before you guys tell me there's no trim on the building, something's wrong, let's go out here and look. And what you're seeing is where the light comes through right here, where the wall steel meets that piece of trim. I mean, it's nice and tight all the way along there. Same thing here on the wainscoting. The other day I had just the slightest amount of snow blow in. Of course, the compressor's on now. The other day I had the slightest amount of snow blow in around a couple of these. I mean, the wind was just howling. I'm not too concerned about it. But what I'm gonna do is spray a bunch of foam in there. Look at that, problem solved. Nice and sealed up. And then after that's done, we'll put insulation in all the pockets here, start hanging OSB and make it look real nice. Also, I've got some of this pink foam board over here. Sorry, that light's really glaring at you. I got some of that pink foam board over there. I'm gonna cut it down and I'm gonna slide it in behind all the, oh, that's a bad one to show you, behind all the posts here. You can see there's an 1.5 inch gap between the post and the wall, and obviously there's gonna be no insulation there whatsoever. because it's solid wood. So we'll fill the, you know, this wall cavity in with insulation, and then I'll tuck the foam back here. I don't know, it's like a 7.5 or 9 R value. Probably better than nothing. So we're gonna do that. It was only $100 for 4 sheets of foam, which is enough to do all the posts. Now I don't want to put too much of this down inside those ribs, because I really don't want it running outside the building where I can see it. Look at that, no more daylight. Like spray foam, but cheaper. This would have been a heck of a lot easier to do before I put all these dang girts in the way. Well, that's going to be it for this video. Not much progress today. Got this panel around the door done. This lighting is absolutely horrible, is it not? Got this section done. I'm just going to skip up here. I think I'm just going to keep going around putting up the girts and doing insulation and OSB, probably at least to the corner here. Then I'll go back into the top portion, maybe get some help to help carry these 9-foot long sheets of OSB up the ladder. Probably won't film too much more of this. It's not very exciting. You know, not with having this horrible lighting, drop cords every which way. It's loud because the heater's running. Got the generator outside, it's dark. There's a lot left to do in here. Once we get it finally buttoned up and actually suitable for some work, I'll definitely bring you back for that part. And until then, please stick around, check out any new uploads. Planning on putting up other content that's not so boring. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.